Turning now to the House Select Subcommittee investigating the weaponization of the federal government. They held a hearing yesterday to discuss Special Counsel John Durham's report on alleged FBI wrongdoing. The panel, chaired by Ohio Representative Jim Jordan, examining whistleblowers' alleged abuses at the agency and how the FBI may have retaliated against those whistleblowers.
Joining us now to break down yesterday's hearing, Wyoming Congresswoman and member of the House Judiciary Committee, Representative Harriet Hageman. Welcome to American Agenda. Representative, there were some fiery exchanges yesterday, one in particular between Jim Jordan and Delegate Stacey Plackett. Take a look.
You don't share your information with the minority?
Nope.
No,
so you're not sharing information that you've obtained with the
whistleblower saw what you did with Mr. Friend and others, the false information you gave the press, so much so that they had to issue corrections.
The whistleblower doesn't decide that. The committee decides it.
And we've decided.
And you've decided that you're not going to share.
Mr. Allen is here. You can ask him questions, and we can talk about the testimony. But right now, you're not getting the testimony. Mr. Allen's here to testify.
And you'll give us the testimony when? After he's left, or at no point in time, or when will we have that? That's only for the Republicans. Is that what you're saying?
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady did not state a point of order.
The point of order was, will he be giving us the testimony of the witness that is here before us, and that you have information of that you are not sharing with the Democrats?
I move.
A fiery exchange there. What's your reaction to everything that went on there? There were some serious allegations leveled against the FBI.
Well, what you find when the Democrats start behaving that way is that they're attempting to deflect attention from what the witnesses have to say. So we've held several select committee meetings of the Select Committee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government. And if you go back and watch the videos, that is pretty much the playbook by which they operate. And that is that they try to disrupt, they lob motions to adjourn, they ignore the testimony of the witnesses, and they attack them personally. An example is when Matt Taibbi, the two journalists came in to testify, Michael Schellenberger and Matt Taibbi, and Ms. Plaskett in her opening statement referred to them as alleged journalists. And she referred to these folks with a similar a name calling. And that's what they do, because they don't ever want to talk about the substance of what the witnesses have to say. So they either attack them personally, they attack their history, they attack their families, they make allegations that are false, they leak testimony, but then they change it in some way. In fact, that's what Jim Jordan was referring to. The press has repeatedly had to make corrections when they take statements from the Democrat members of this committee, because they mislead the press as to what is being said and what the witnesses are saying. So it's kind of par for the course, but it is in order to deflect attention from what the witnesses had to say. And that's what's really important here.
Fair enough, and it's something we've been covering over the past couple of days. While the time we have remaining with you, I did want to ask you about Senator Feinstein. There are a lot of people that feel she's reached a point where she can't conduct appropriate activities on behalf of her state and country, frankly. What are your thoughts there? I know you're on the Judiciary Committee, so you keep an eye, of course, of what's going on over in the Senate when they're going about the business of either recommending or approving judicial appointees.
Well, again, I think what you're seeing is that the Democrats don't necessarily care whether the person is capable of making the very serious decisions that our political and elected officials should be able to make. The only thing that they care about is whether they can prop them up enough to vote for a Democrat on whether it's a judiciary or a bill or a Democrat policy. So whether it's Mr. Fetterman or it is Senator Feinstein, it really doesn't matter to them whether they're competent to be making the decisions. And your previous panel just described the incredibly serious issues that we are being confronted with right now on the international stage. The issue with China, the issue with Ukraine, the issue with Russia, the issue with potential nuclear war. All of these things are happening, and we want to have the very best people in positions of power, elected officials who are capable of making good, sound, solid policy decisions for this country. Yeah. The Democrats don't really care, just as long as they've got the body there to be able to push the button to vote the way that they need them to vote.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman Harriet Hageman.